From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max, of course, at my bar. We never know who's going to show up. We have return visitors this time around, and we're going to talk a little film and television production, Hollywood production that is, a little even more specific. I got it right this time around. Coach Campo's here. Andrew Cardy is here, who's also involved in that side of things, and two ladies returners, Alayna, Carley, and Carlina Williams. Let's welcome in the panel. Alayna, how are you?
Good
to see you. Welcome back. Carlina, how are you, girl?
Nice to see
Good
you.
to see you, Coach. Always
Yes,
a pleasure.
as
Drew,
well.
my man.
Yeah.
How are you? You love production.
I do.
You love all types of production. You do a lot of video production, not a client-focused media. don't
Yeah,
you?
so my role here is what we call like the creative video. So it's really like we have the shows that we do here, and pretty much anything outside of that
Yeah.
it typically falls through me. So
There you go.
storytelling is my
Yeah.
I've been in it 20 years now and love it.
It's so much fun. Coach, you got a favorite movie? What if you had to pick one out of five? Like, not your I don't mean to put you on the spot, but give me one of your good
You
movies.
put me on the spot. I'm old school now.
That's all right.
American Graffiti.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
right. You like
I've
that. I
seen
remember
that
that.
before.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
that was a classic.
Yeah, I'm an old school guy. That's the way
Absolutely.
it is.
All right, Carlina, tell us your background you're from here.
Yes.
And made it to Hollywood.
I did.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Paxson.
Okay,
I think
okay.
it was like School for Advanced Studies. It has a long name.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So
Cool. I
went
thought
to
maybe DA because I know they have a film side of things.
I did
My daughter
get
goes
in.
there for dance.
I got into DA
Okay.
and I decided I was like, they were like Paxson because I really wanted to go to UF.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they source people from Paxson, not really DA. So I kind of went that route.
Okay, cool.
But I went to La Villa, so you were on
Oh
the
yeah,
right
yeah.
track.
My
So,
daughter went to La Villa. My youngest went to La Villa. Great place. We loved it there.
Absolutely.
All right, did you start off as a writer? What's your background?
No, so it's kind of funny. I started off in like chorus, so singing. So that's what I was in La Villa for. So I was
Okay.
used to being in front of the camera. And then there was a point where I was just like, well, what's going on behind the scenes? What's going on behind the camera? And that's kind of what I've learned at UF.
Okay.
And so I was really good with numbers. Like, not many people in production are good with numbers, so that's something, a cool
Okay.
skill I would recommend.
Yeah.
But I
Budgeting.
started in
Budgeting.
I started in research, so studying the audience, analytics, like who's watching what. So think of shows. I might go not as far back as you, but I might go back as. Do you guys remember like Scorpion on
Oh, yeah.
CBS?
Yeah.
I think they still do reruns, Big Bang Theory,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was the research analyst for CBS doing those ratings.
Oh, wow.
So when they would come
that's
in for
it.
Big Brother, I would let them know how they would perform and talk to the executives and on that side say, all right,
Okay.
this is how many people are watching, etc.
ROI.
Yeah. And then I realized, like, wait, you guys create these characters. I want to be a part of that world.
Yeah.
And so segued to that. So from there, I started out in research. Are y'all ready for this long story?
Yes.
Good enough.
No, that's good.
Okay. I
That's
started
great.
out in research. And so while I was doing research, I had a friend who, she's an actress, and
Okay.
she had a party, and the private chef didn't show up. And so I cooked. I was the only friend in LA who knew how to cook.
Oh my gosh.
So I cooked, and again, this was like with my church friend, so she was like an actress, and we met in church. And so they were like, your food's really good. And I was just like, okay. They're like, you should have a YouTube channel. And I was like, okay. So that's why my company is still called Cooking with Carlina,
Right.
is because it started on YouTube. I started doing cooking videos, and like, okay. But that's where I really learned how to produce. So I encourage people, like, if you don't have a budget, start on YouTube, because you learn
Yeah.
from there. You won't believe it. Disney scouted me to work
Wow.
on their movie Zootopia on their
Yeah.
marketing campaigns.
Okay.
And then they kept me on for Moana. And then I went over to Imagineering, worked on some of those rides,
Cool.
and started getting more into the story side of it. And then I was like, all right, I'm ready to jump in. So then Universal Pictures, which is, I think, the catalyst, what
Yeah.
really broke me into the industry, started working in development there. So I worked on like the Jurassic movies. I don't know if you know about
my
Pitch
goodness.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So a lot of that franchise,
Okay.
those kind of movies, the Fast and Furious movies as an assistant. And then from there was just like, okay, I got this. So then I went on to work on Nickelodeon's Loud House, Casa Grande's, and Development. And then most recently on, if you have kids, Coco Melon.
Nice.
So I was the executive on Coco Melon. I can tell you why it's a great show for kids.
Very cool.
Showing that range from animation all the way to live action, from TV to film.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm here to answer any questions.
That is
You know, we
fantastic.
get famous people at the bar.
Yeah.
This is one of the most famous
I
people.
agree.
That's
impressive.
We start throwing out those names.
Now, Alayna, you're in marketing as well, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
am. So I met Carlina. I'm a former student of Carlina's.
Okay.
So
Wow.
what you didn't mention is that you
Yeah.
were a professor
Yeah.
at UF. I feel like this is an important piece.
Yeah.
And so you're still teaching at UF. And so
Okay.
last spring I took her class, Media Management in TV and Film.
Okay.
And that's how we met.
Cool.
And then I graduated, and afterwards we've just kept in contact, and I've been working on projects with her, following
Okay.
her around. It's been
That's
great.
great.
Awesome.
So when the producers want more money, are they coming to you? Like they need more money for more shooting
Yeah,
or whatever?
like-
They got to come to Carlina and be like, hey, can we fit it in the budget? That
For
kind of
sure.
thing?
When I was like on the studio side, I think I'm more on the producer side now. I'm the
Okay.
one asking for money.
Okay.
But when I was on the other side,
Yeah.
yes, it would come to me and it'd be like, okay, my first question is how much?
Right.
And they always give you the lower amount.
Right.
And I'm just like, no, how much do you really need? Because I'm not giving you any more.
Yeah.
So then we have to go up to the chain and ask the boss and tell
Yeah.
them like why. So my number one thing I would recommend, and I like let other producers know, is be good at numbers. If you're not good at numbers, have somebody on your team who's good
That's
at
good at it,
numbers
right.
to get that budget locked in. It's better to ask for a big amount in the beginning
Yep.
and not use all
Use
of
it
it
all, right.
than use all of it and come back.
Right.
Because then what they're going to think is you're too expensive moving forward. And
Yeah.
they will take your concept. People don't realize when
Yep.
you sell your show, it's like, that's theirs.
Right.
So when they sold like Get Out and things like that, that's theirs. They
Right.
they have the rights to do Get Out too without
Wow.
that production company.
Whoa.
So just be somebody that
Yep.
they want to work with, that you're
Right.
talented, constantly innovating. Don't be a one-hit wonder.
Right.
And you're fine in the industry.
Get that John
I
Wick franchise.
think you got with a good one here.
Oh, I agree.
No doubt about it.
What about with the role of technology into production? That's a whole new animal. It's been going on for a while, but that's got to be
Absolutely.
continuously evolving.
With
every minute.
AI, yes. I think if you're creative enough, first of all, if you're creative enough, AI can never take your job because it's a machine.
Yep.
Second of all, AI is there. If you think of it as something bad, it will be something bad. If you use it properly, it can be there to aid you. So that's what I want people to think of. Like, you know, how I remember, like, just reading textbooks like from modern medicine, people thought it was bad back in the
Yep.
day. You have to use it. You don't abuse it. You use it to aid you in that certain situation. So writers who use AI to write their script, big no-no. Because what AI does, I don't think a lot of people know, is it takes all the data from before. I think it's stopped 20, you have to correct me on this, maybe your producers can put like
Yep.
what AI goes up to, what year it is. So it's
Okay.
not right now.
Oh.
AI doesn't pull from right now in terms of Chat GPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it pulls from back in the day. So what it's going to do is pull all these different ideas. It might not, it'll say, oh, it's original, but what they give you is original, but they've pulled from other sources. So that's where the
Okay.
copyright comes into play
Yep.
and why I think you guys saw in the industry the different strikes.
Yeah, right.
So that's
No,
why
right.
writers were striking.
Yeah.
Because you're pulling other things to create your idea.
So how does 2025 look in the film and television world? I know 2024 was challenging. You've heard that quite
Yeah.
a bit, but how does 25 look, do you think?
Yeah, first of all, my hearts go out to everybody in Los Angeles
No
dealing
doubt.
with the fires. So
Absolutely.
that's seriously going to impact this industry right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because even if you're filming in another country like Bulgaria, which is where a lot of people film, in Qatar now, the hub is Los Angeles, and they send things that way. So with that being said, I think we just be considerate of what's going on.
Yep.
But what I do see from the industry is as Los Angeles continues to rebuild, they're going to rely on other markets.
Other markets,
So I
yeah.
definitely tell people, like, I've heard Alayna's going to Oklahoma City. Like, Oklahoma
Yep.
City's been tapped. They're probably going to lean a little bit more on New York. Atlanta's definitely going to see a
Atlanta's
huge boom in the next few years. And
Yeah.
I would say also check out Orlando and Miami. They're coming
Yeah.
for them too. So, like, I think the East Coast, a lot
Yeah.
of that is going to shift over to the East Coast to control.
Yep.
And then LA is now eventually going to have that happy medium, because I think right now LA's here and everybody's here.
Right.
And then I think now it's going to look more like this.
Yeah.
So people can live anywhere.
Well, hopefully the state can get that, what do they call it, when you can get money back?
Tax
Yeah,
incentives.
tax incentive.
That's 100%. I think Florida needs to, if there's anybody in our Florida government listening,
No doubt.
yes, you need that. That's why Georgia's getting all the filming. It's
know.
this tax incentive.
Atlanta's
Florida, we
built
have the
big,
coastlines.
sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
big production studios in
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like massive.
You know,
Like,
Jacksonville's supposed to be
I know.
LA.
I know.
So why aren't we doing it?
Yes.
And that's why I'm here. Like,
Good.
someone
Let's
from
bring
Jackson,
more
let's
to
bring it back.
it. Absolutely. There used to be some good shows that were filmed here. Was it Point Man was here? They filmed right in downtown Jacksonville. Yeah, I think it was called Point Man. It was with a famous actor right before the Jags got here. It was like in the early
really?
'90s.
Early
yeah.
90s, really.
Yeah. They've done quite a bit. I know because Ring Power had a three slated film.
Yeah.
That they filmed here. I remember Sharon Stone was here once, and
Right.
they should
filmed
bring it
some
back.
here, but not consistently. It's
There's
like
so
once
much-
every 3 years, like, oh, they decided to come here.
When I walk through St. Augustine, I'm like, you should be filming like every thriller in the world. Should be going through St. Augustine.
Well, let's put a Hallmark movie there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
would
right.
be
That's
great.
right.
there.
Right?
Absolutely. My wife would be all over that.
Right? Let's get funding for that, you guys. Let's
I like
film
it.
in. Let's film it. Yeah, because I was thinking more thriller. I don't know. I'm trying to think like a cool place in Jax where thriller could go down. Like the
Yeah.
Orange Park Mall, I think could be really
Oh.
creepy.
Ooh,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Like,
Very cool.
We filmed years and years ago. I was doing a lot of acting and then got to the other side of the camera because I was like, this is where the imagination really lives.
Yeah.
And we filmed a horror film in the Tinseltown movie theater.
Yeah.
And like it was like after they shut down and we went in and filmed it and I was like, I'm never gonna come into this movie theater again the same way because I knew I poured like buckets of blood here and I was like,
Yeah.
all
Make you
right,
nervous going
it
in.
makes me a little nervous when I go and see a movie there now.
Well, ladies, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it. And it was fun talking about production, man.
Oh, yeah.
Always. You never know what we're going to talk about at the bar. which
Listen, if
makes
I
the
get
show
another
awesome.
head coaching job, I'm going to hire her to run my public relations. And
Analytics.
analytics.
No doubt about it. All right, that'll do it this time around for us here on The Horse's Mouth. Make sure you check out Alayna and Carlina. Of course, Coach Campo and Andrew Cardy will be there. Check out their profiles and this conversation and so many others at the dailynewsnetwork.com website. Until next time, stay safe and be cool and keep chasing after those dreams. We'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.